should have seen that one coming.
Team Empire's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dota Pit Season 4 by G2A. I'm P1 here with going into game number 2 of Empire versus PR.
10 seconds remaining.
What was, I don't know,
5 seconds.
It was a shellacking.
It was.
It was in a very close
game.
game.
Of a, like, you've been trying to teach me, like,
Reserve
positivity.
time.
It's not even a word.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's good to just establish, like, okay, I think it was a bit of an outdraft. Empire outplayed us a little bit. What's the next move? Like, how do we move on and how do we get going from there? I think that's just as important for a team
Well,
to
you
get
did say
over.
during the last draft, like, it was a very reactionary style draft. Like, it didn't feel like it was Power Rangers kind of strength or playing to their, like, the way they want to play Dota, at least. It was definitely controlled by Team Empire. I'm interested to see, like, now how they do start up their own draft. But they ban out one of the heroes that they picked up in the last game. Take out the Oracle. You take out Invoker, take out Lone Druid, usual. The Invoker ban is something which I'm still wondering. Like, yeah, you're going up against Resolution, so you want to give him a lot of respect. And he does play a pretty damn mean Invoker, and he's still, after the nerfs, still looking to play that Invoker.
Invoker is such a good hero right now, though.
Even with the agility nerf?
Who cares?
Don't care.
Who cares?
You don't think his level 2 fighting got too crippled that he can't win the lane anymore?
No. You're still doing Invoker things.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Cap and I were debating this the other day. I was like, well, with the agility now, when you go for the cold snap and then you instantly get that attack off it, you can't. The attack speed isn't as good anymore, so you can't get the control.
Man, Cap has no idea what he's talking about.
He did say he wasn't an Invoker player when we were talking about this, so it was very well established.
I'm just messing.
I'm just defending him.
I'm gonna link you my secret stream, Toby, so you can watch more solo queue games. You gotta see. Invoker's still pretty BS. Ooh, this is a really cool hero though.
Turn to ban.
Chen? Exciting.
He's one of the, what was it, there's that big ELO rating that was pumped up by Knoxville, and Chen is now the number ranked hero in Dota.
I mean, Chen is one of those heroes that if you really know how to execute, can just stomp a game for you. Because the Ags upgrade is so good, the ability to safely push, like that's something that we should always talk about or have in the back of our minds, Toby, is how do you safely take towers, like without having to commit heroes? You just commit, you know, creeps that don't really want to do what you want them to do, but he's Ash, you know? He's enslaved them.
Wow.
It's Pokemon, it's dark, man. Just throw a Pokeball at them and now they've got to hit towers for you, man.
I always try and, like, Pokemon was a big childhood thing for me.
Yeah?
Reserve
Hey,
time.
when Red came out, I was so excited.
Man, Pokemon sucked. It's just like you're fighting animals to fight against each other, man.
Team Empire's turn
It's messed
to
up.
pick.
I'm not gonna...
Yu-Gi-Oh all the way.
What? That's still... Wait, you then have
Radiant team
ancient animals that fight
No,
for you.
they're a bunch of cards. What are you talking about,
They're not a
dude?
bunch of cards. Do you not believe in the heart of the cards and what it originally started as?
Dude, what is...
They're the spirit monsters, damn it!
Toby, you're insane.
Where do you think the spirit world came from?
Pokemon is just messed up, no
I'm
matter
not
how you
gonna
look at it.
disagree with that.
Let's focus on the game, though. As Empire, they draft like the exact... This is like some OG level deja vu. Remember during D2CL where they drafted the exact same hero?
Yep.
They're actually doing it again. What are they missing? They're missing a Spectre. If they pick Spectre, they would literally have the same draft.
My belly said Power Rangers is going to ban that as the last one, however, because Spectre is fantastic
Yeah,
against the
what's-
Prophet and the Zeus. And
What's
the
going on right now?
Spirit Breaker is great against the Nature's Prophet as well. The interesting part is, like, can Power Rangers force the issue now? They do have a Chen, safety pushing, you have a massive amount of treants, you have Witch Doctor heal behind you.
Team Empire.
Come on,
There's
Empire.
control factor from Paralyzing Cask. They got a lot of things that can work for them.
I want people to be confused when they look at the VOD of this game and be like,
Is this game 1 or
yes,
is this game 2?
did I just watch the same exact game? Take spec. Just do it. It's a good hero here too. You can pick off Nature's Prophet and Witch Doctor and Zeus. These are all squishy heroes. The spec is great. 10 thumbs up.
What Empire? Is it really that hard of a decision?
Of course it is. They've got time to decide, man.
5 seconds remaining.
What else would you get? Maybe they're worried about like what they should ban against Power Rangers.
What do you mean they ban?
I mean, sorry, pick against Power Rangers. Maybe because they're both going for the #1 position, so you want to maybe be able to block a call with this.
Yeah.
The one Power Ranger, at least Eldon's been turning to most of the time, has been the Morphling.
It's good. The Lycan was a really good ban. Ooh, Ember Spirit. I like this.
What do you do if you're going to be able to build a Battle Fury hero against like a mass army of units running at
This
you?
is just really good though because Power Rangers has no catch right now. Something that you always have to consider in your draft because now Power Rangers draft is pretty one-dimensional. Either you just continue in the vein of we're just going to run at you and try to take down all the objectives, or you have to have a 5th pick core that can kind of deal with Ember. But I actually think Power Rangers should just double down and go for the straight-up assault.
If they're going to do that, they need something like a
5
Lunar or
remaining.
maybe even a Pugna. Push would be not going to run a safe lane Pugna in this game.
Pugna sounds kind of interesting. Lycan would have been the perfect hero. It kind of fills if it fills both roles, but I don't know. Maybe Jug. Just get a bunch of healing going and run at people. Jug's pretty good against Ember.
That would give you a late game catch out at least. Like if you do get like a lot of early farm, you can get like something like the Blink Dagger into Bash or Abyssal, and have some higher level of control. But it's still very item reliant, and you still have to get that initial push to work.
And Death Prophet just drains you while you spin. Good stuff.
It's an ability.
Great concept.
Right, so J4, what do you want, bro?
I'm not really sure what PR does here. I genuinely think they should just double down and go for the fight instead of going for, because they can't really draft a core that can catch. Like Nature's Prophet probably builds like an Orchid at some point, but
if he does that, he's still gonna die of the Spirit Breaker because the second he TPs out, he's gonna
yeah,
get
but you knew that going in that was a
remaining.
possibility when you didn't ban it, and you know that Empire picks it, so you've got to kind of
5 seconds
go around,
remaining.
work around that. And really good call by you. It is going to be the Luna, and this is pretty much what we talked about. Like, you just double down, go for the push.
They have to commit so hard to this though. Like before the Ember comes online, I'm wondering now if Aloha also decides to change up his build. In the Battle Fury, you'll be able to defend from high ground. Does Team Empire end their Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers and itemize to do such a thing? Or do they just not care and they go, you know what, we'll just build for the mid game, we'll be able to keep them out anyway, we got Crypt Swarm, we can pull the way back with Wave of Terror from the VS, the Undying Tombstone will give us space.
I guess. I think the biggest thing is Empire chose Ember because they see that PR has no catch, and there's no core that they're going to pick at this point.
Yep.
That's going to give them
10
that.
seconds
And
And
Luna
then-
definitely doesn't offer that now.
But you're not picking, again, you're just kind of
5
running at
seconds
things
remaining.
and hoping that you snowball far enough ahead that Empire can't really do anything. But I once again think that Empire has better draw of this. Just kind of depends on the laning phase once again. What I really like to see from this Death Prophet is the mid-game aggression into the safe lane using the Spirit Siphon, which we saw last game. And I'm giving you these knowledge bombs, Toby, and you're just zoomed in on couriers and stuff.
Hey, I'm listening to every word you're saying. But at the same time, like, I've got to give the visual entertainment.
God damn it, Toby.
Hey, the courier was squatting on the ground.
How do I even focus? Alright.
You focus because this is all second nature to you.
It is, but I'm working things out myself too. It's really cool to just see these evolutions of drafts and try to figure out what the captains are thinking.
If I was just in PR's position, last pick, I'd feel like locked in a corner.
You sort of are, but it's okay. It's like you kind of understood that with your draft going in anyways, with like Chen, Nature's Prophet, Witch Doctor. It's like a lot of heal, a lot of sustain. You sort of knew what you were getting into, so that's fine. I don't want to make it seem as though they were locked in a bad way, right? It was like, they had to do this, they're screwed. It was probably just the overall goal of the draft in the first place.
30 seconds. to
That's
battle.
really good for PR, at least now for this offlane. Phonic's going to be a little bit more tentative. But at least because he planted the ward, he understood that they were all up there, so he didn't feed himself. But it looks like Empire is wanting to contest them for bottom lane. At least for the bottom rune. So Phonic just remains close, he can just charge through them if he can keep the vision up. Now PR don't have vision back there, and you just got yourself a 2-man decay. Ilda's already down to 427 life. Phonic's gonna charge him. This will actually buy time, but the paralyzing cast maybe not that much time, but there's only 3 bounces. But they got Magic Missile, Decay's back off cooldown again, but they're not gonna commit anything more.
Did they get both bounty runes?
Bounty runes taken by Death Prophet and Ember.
What is the statistic on that? Like, if you get both, what is your win rate? One day I'm gonna ask Noxil for that.
Fairly certain, like, we have enough people in the chat that will be able to is that Dota stat.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great.
It won't be hard to find.
It's gotta really tilt you as a mid player.
But knowing that you're already behind.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup was not great to begin with the first time around, and then you've got to deal with this.
And you see the build as well from Resolution. He went directly in for the straight magic wand. So every time you spam, you're just like you're feeding the power that is the Death Prophet, who's already level 2.5 over your 1/3 of a level.
And that's mainly because Shaq hasn't killed more creeps than you. Come on, Toby, head in the game.
I'm just saying, like, Resolution has the window where he could just like pummel him.
He's already doing that. He started with a bounty run, and this matchup's just miserable. What you should always consider in this mid matchup, Toby, is what's the potential to kill, and oftentimes that's going to be the hero that is going to be able to play up for CS. And Death Prophet has a ton of potential to kill the Zeus. Zeus has like none. What is a Zeus meant to do against a Death Prophet who's got 2 Fairy Fires and a Magic Wand? You're not trading hits. You're not going to be able to get aggressive with right clicks.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do?
You got no escape mechanism, and Resolution's got an initiation mechanism.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Tobes.
I know you are. You're enjoying it though.
Of course I am. This is what I do with Cap. It's hard love. Teaches you. Cap once asked me the same thing. He's like, why would you go Manton Spectre Blitz? And I laughed at him instead of explaining it. So I'm even nicer to you.
Because you actually explained it after you laughed at me.
Yeah, exactly. How else are you guys going to improve that?
You know, Cap's actually a lot nicer of a teacher. When we're talking about the offlane and what to do on that, he's just like slowly taking me through it.
Just my sense of humor, man.
Radiant's middle tower.
Let's have to bring you down before he builds you up again.
Exactly. There are a lot of chains right now. Aloha's gonna pop the Flame Guard. It's level 2. You just want to make it so that your support doesn't get traded out like this. Like, Venge is a really strong hero right now, but she does not deal well with Harass, like we talked about, right? Because she can't really right-click you back. It doesn't deal nearly as much damage, and you don't want to keep using the stun. You're going to use the preliminary stun just to kind of get aggressive, and to show that you're going to get some damage out there, establish a little bit of lane control. But then after that, what do you do? You can't throw a second one out.
Wait until your core wins the game for you.
Yep. Laning phase, though, is going pretty well so far for Empire, but it's really when this Chen decides to get active on the map that's going to determine a lot for me. He's level 3 already. He's got 2 creeps up. They're not the best creeps for ganking, but not so bad so far.
It's all about that push timing too for me. Like, I want to watch Illidan's skill build closely as well. Like, if he feels like he's the man that has to do the pushing. But we saw a lot of it at TI where, I think it was Arteezy that started doing it more for the stacking. Where you just rush up the 4 points up in Moonglaves, push down that way, or if he feels like he needs to get the aura points to work with the Chen as well as the Witch Doctor. Because if he goes for another point up in the Lunar Blast tank, then it's just like, okay, it's the full 5-man style push.
No.
I think going for the Lunar Blessing is a lot better, because your heroes they're pretty weak independently, honestly. Like Witch Doctor and NP in a situation like this. J4 is going to get gone on. Phonic is just trying to right-click.
He needed actually like a charge. Like that was, a bounce. That was the only way that was going to work. No Fear can just keep him back. He's gonna commit the
he's
tombstone,
taking a
but
lot of
Flanagan is
damage.
really low. And Shaq, what a time to rotate over. They got another Lucent Beam available, and the Observer was giving him all the vision. The Lightning Bolt again. They have enough. They have enough. They're gonna get both of the heroes on the Empire off lane.
Man, if I'm Funnick, I'm pissed. Like, what is the Zeus doing down here? What's going on? Like, he's losing so much mid right now. What's the point? And meanwhile, at top, they do get the trade-off. This is a good one because the Nature's Prophet was getting a lot of levels. Although he disconnected, so I have no idea if he just...
Like, the kill?
Oh no.
Would have been a little unfortunate. And that gank would never have happened if the Observer Ward that was originally planted down Funnick actually remained. And the other Observer Ward was up on top lane.
I would just be so mad if I was Funnick. Just like... He was min-maxing that play, and then all of a sudden he just gets bolted and killed.
That's fantastic for Power Rangers. We said they needed a really good start. That's one way to do it. Now you're going to have Zeus at a point where he's going to crack his level 6 fairly soon. I don't think he's not even really that good when I think about it. Like, the VS is going to be the only one that'll be a little bit more timid about being on the front line, because she'll just take that much burst damage. But everyone else on Empire is pretty tanky. If Flame Guard's up, everyone else is pretty tanky.
Ben just kind of tanky as a support. Her stats aren't the worst thing in the world. You just build some strength treads and you're good. Look, he's almost got 700 HP. Things are great.
But he's not Jakira. Game. He is Jakiro.
Jakiro?
Yeah.
I kind of like Jakiro as a concept more than the actual hero itself.
It does feel sometimes like the press is a little too weak, but it just seems so easy to play him early on. No Fear's gonna get stunned up. They have Malediction, no they don't. It's just restoration. But Nature's Prophet's coming in, so welcome back to the game, No Fear. Welcome back to the lane and get your ass back to base. Funnick's also gonna arrive, but gets isolated out by the Sprout. Does that Anthony actually work?
Look at the
Treant
damage.
in front. If they can body block him to the side, no, he'll charge away. Roshan gets pissed, but he'll get away to safety.
Roshan was so confused right there. Like, what happened?
It's like that the tap on the right shoulder and you turn all the way from the left.
What happened? Okay, here comes resolution.
What is this?
There's no way this is a good idea.
What is that?
There's no way that was a good idea. Alright, resolution's just, you know, he overrated Soul the Siphon like crazy there. That's a lunar, that's a 2 level of Lunar Blessing plus a 200 damage nuke. That was crazy. You know what I learned though, is that Resolution is just not afraid. That proves something in itself.
That's positive spin,
yeah, exactly. It's just like, look how unafraid I am. I just don't even care if I die here. Look at how crazy I am.
He just tried to like 1v3 with no support anywhere near him.
Oh, that was really weird.
Ready to come.
Was...
And he got one Soul Siphon charge off. That was it. And he ran into the middle of a Chen army.
That was pretty surprising. It's not often you see pros make moves like that, because it's like
odd.
Yeah, it's just you don't really. He probably just thought that Soul. I'm trying to think of it right now rather than just laughing. I'm laughing because it's a good player and it's just some small mistake. Is Illidan dead?
Yeah, with that extra 17%, the stuns
Oh,
away
here
from
we
Terror,
go.
they have more than enough damage, and the rotation of Aloha. I'm just going to ensure the kill, like give him his treads. And they may send Aloha back to the top lane. Has he got a Spirit up there? Or did he just, like, are they actually, they're rotating the lanes?
I think anyways, at bottom, not to harp on it or whatever, but just to give some justification, Resolution probably thought, okay, I'm hasted, and I've got Soul Siphon going, somebody will TP down here, and, you know, I want to take this fight. I've got the backline on them, just... He was not ready for the right clicks. It did so much. Yeah, I'm just mainly laughing because it looked ridiculous. He's just like, by himself.
I will attest to that.
Just like, I will get this, guys.
Alright, so Aloha and Funnick are now entering into the Radiant jungle. They're going to find Big Num. There's no Sleight of Fist available. There's Spirits available as well for Ember. so he can jump forward, but this paralyzing cast, it bounces, well, okay, it doesn't really bounce at all. Phonic, is there a stun? There is one. Shaq, again, an easy rotation to kill. This now actually makes it so the Zeus has 2 kills and 1 assist to his name. Is Aloha really is running a trap behind the tree, trying to stay hidden? Oh, Illidan blew the ulti, but there was no... Well, you kind of said during the drafting phase, there's no control. There's no, like, lockdown on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, as long as the Ember plays... As long as Aloha plays like he should, there's almost going to be no chance. As long as he always has the Remnant up, right? There's no stuns or disables really that hard lock him down. So it's important for PR to get aggressive in this mid-game phase to try to take as much as they can, which is what they're doing. And they're doing a really good job of using Empire's over-aggression against them. And now you've opened up a lot of the map. You can go for the Roshan if you want, and Resolution. He's just going to get eaten.
Matt doesn't have a swap for him. The Ember Spirit also just took his spirit he had left in the middle lane underneath the tier 1 tower, going into Power Rangers. He has 1 spirit up with the
they've got to be careful. The Tombstone is down.
No fear. Again, they're not carrying tangos or anything to break free.
Maybe he should have had some fear.
Tower is under attack.
Empire's just playing this kind of weird because they have to respect the damage right now coming out of PR, and they're just not right now, and they're being overrun. You can lose the tier 2 tower, but losing a core and your Undying, or it probably isn't worth it. And this is going to allow them so much more wiggle room in the map. You can go for the Roshan at any point that they want and just continue this flat-out assault on the tier 2 towers. Like, they don't really even have to go for this tier 1 at top. I think it takes them too long. Go for the Roshan, go for the tier 2 at bottom. There's almost no way that Empire's going to fight you this phase of the game.
They found an ancient stack, so while they're here, they're going to take that from him. But the charge is coming over. Resolution, he still doesn't have exorcism, primarily because he goes for this 404 build of his. With that Crypt Swarm, does he now? Yeah, there's your Siphon, dragging the Witch Doctor back. The Paralyzing Cast, however, is going to make it very difficult to chase, and Mad going to use it. Oh, is J4 going to get out of this one? He will. Chenna, she sends him back in time. Malika's going to charge aggressively over the hill. They know there's no Eclipse, but Thunder God's Wrath is available, and they're all dropping very, very low here. And maybe now, just let it rip. They do find 1 kill over on that Luna as Resolution. Shaq trying to stand his ground against Resolution. This is the reason why he had no fear to start with. J4 will be able to get a revenge kill. Prophet picking up the pieces on the back line. Resolution will now move over. He has the support of the Undying minions. However, he doesn't have any Soul Siphon charges, but he's got help. Where's the Searing Chains? There it is. Pignum caught on his TP out. And Empire, the over-aggression, this time around, it will pay off.
They just had nothing to lock down the Death Prophet, and you just saw him always frog his way to victory as he just Spirit Siphons repeatedly. Nobody could really keep up. Once they lost the Luna, that fight was done. That's such a centerpiece hero for them to be able to fight back into it, but he was caught in a weird position. Nobody could really back him up. The Witch Doctor was sent out. He's one of their main... He's their only disabler, really. And once he was down, or gone out of the fight, things just became really troublesome. PR still have opportunities, but you can't afford to make these mistakes when you have no catch on your team.
You see how much it affects the game too. They took like cost. They went from almost a 7k net worth advantage being at 4k now, and they actually lost their experience advantage.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is that because you've power leveled yourself through getting a lot of these objectives early on and stuff like that, all of these attempts that fail cost you so much out of the game. But they haven't derailed themselves into a position where things are terrible yet. Like, their supports are still really strong. Like, the Witch Doctor already has the point booster. Chen almost has the mech completed. They're gonna lose Illidan though, once again. And that is not an easy death to swallow. Like, you just can't afford to lose him right now because Aloha Dance is gonna have so much easier of a time surviving in this game than he is.
This feels like early on the Vision game was going the way of Power Rangers. Like, they saw the rotations coming in. They were able to find the kills even when they're pushing down the buildings. Now they were getting themselves revealed. Funny gets a lot more confident. He's able to just do these charges onto the cores, giving space for people to find kills. J4, however, trying to get more. He is actually going to kill off Funnick until Big Num kills secures. But the trade-off is now going to be a Zeus for an SB and just considerable damage, and potentially the tier 1 tower lost on bottom. Unless they TP. Mad was waiting. He was waiting in the tree line. With the tombstone dropped down by No Fear as well, Illidan's almost dead. He doesn't have anywhere near enough life to survive that. J4 dying as well, and the tier 1 tower going. Man was waiting for that perfectly, and Empire capitalized.
And this is just becoming a disaster now. Like, your Chen completed the mech, which is fantastic, but you've lost so much of the control that you once had. They were grouping up as 5, they were forcing Empire to respond to them, but now it's flipped on its head as PR is just kind of moving reactionary, which is definitely not what you want to do in a situation where you want to go for the 5-man. You never want to have to respond what the enemy team is doing, especially, again, once you have no catch, because this is just going to free up the map for Aloha. It's going to allow him to farm. It's going to allow the Spear Breaker to kind of get online once again. And now you're put into a position where you're kind of scrambling. You're like, okay, do we go for another death push? I think the answer is yes. Like, you have the Chen. The same lineup issues exist. You probably should just kind of go for the team fights, which is what they're aiming for right now. They're steadily falling behind in both levels and farm right now, as we can see. The Zeus is only level 8 Toby. The Luna's in a similar situation. On the flip side, we see Empire at 11 on both of their cores. You have to do something right now to right the ship.
Gotta go with what they drafted. It's the push. Like, that's it. Like, just a strong group up kind of push.
That one fight really seemed to just kind of derail them. It didn't really feel like they knew how to kind of their footing back into the game, and they lost a few heroes that they shouldn't have. They lost control of the tier 1 tower, and now you're starting to see the split push come online as Empire is just going everywhere on the map. Because now all they have to do really is defend for their high ground.
Yep. Empire's just going for the trade-off in the meantime. Like, Resolution's farming up to... he's still a while off getting his major item. I thought that top lane was also pushing in a lot quicker.
No, they're going to go for this mid tower as a trade-off, and...
Pretty low, and does Resolution really want to commit exorcism when he may need it to defend their high ground?
No. I don't think he necessarily has to.
They're already TPing back too.
Yeah. Because they know that PR kind of senses what's going on. And Empire, again, you can't play reactionary Dota. You can't just go, okay, we're going to split up, go for the tier 1, force things.
Here they come. So we start to see how hard PR want this. Resolution trigger the ulti. It's a good silence. They swap back J4, taking out that one disabler. Goes Rat as well as the Eclipse will go, but a support for support right now while Funnick trying to beat through the backline.
Oh, that charge!
Oh, actually stopping Chen as well. He took at the hand and got a mech off, but the problem was it hit the Zeus on the way through, stopping that damage, and they're going to lose all 5 heroes. It was a 15-minute push up on the high ground, and Team Empire ended it very, very well.
That was absolutely nuts by Funnick. He assaults the backline using the charge onto... No, he uses the ultimate. He uses the ultimate onto the Zeus, and then he uses that to reposition himself to charge across multiple heroes. And that's what you need to do. You need to take the Zeus out of the fight and make him vulnerable, and that's exactly what he did. Really well done on the Spirit Breaker by him. And they needed a fight like that. To be able to hold in a situation like that kind of puts PR into the do or die zone. Now PR are kind of thinking to themselves, oh crap, we just lost another fight. We had a pretty decent advantage. What are we supposed to do when we're behind now?
They have to take Roshan. Like, they're not going to get a push like that again.
Yeah.
Like, they've given too much to Empire now. You have to take a Roshan, get Negosy model on the back of Illidan, because he is still your center point of the fight.
But
and
the level game, the level game is just... I mean, they've eschewed levels just to go for the straight up push, and at some point that's going to bite you in the ass, and that time has come.
What else is your other choice? Like, I'm looking at a Shadow Blade build from this stage's Prophet, which I'm not as big of a believer in, because when I see that, I'm instantly thinking split push and deceit around Empire. So just try and dodge them when they have a go at you.
You might have to do that though at this phase of the game, but like you said, the Roshan is going to be the first objective. This is absolutely what you need. You need to be able to have Illidan go for the high ground for you. But Empire is getting a lot out of the map right now. They've got the Battle Fury completed at just 17 minutes into the game on top of the boot to travel. Like, this is a pretty sick timing by the Ember Spirit. And it's just because Aloha has absolutely nothing to fear in these fights. He's like, how are they going to kill me? As long as I have a spirit in the back, there's almost no way.
Here they come again. I almost wish there was something more like a Battlestorm or some kind of pushing item of the Prophet.
They know they're not ready for this push. This is going to be the best time for PR. Like, they already pinged out mid.
That Ember actually is short of his Battle Fury. He doesn't have the whole thing yet. He's missing the Void Stone. So they don't actually have that wonderful cleave, but look at the positioning. No fear, resolution, and Phonic.
Look at this collapse.
They're all from behind. They're all completely trapped on top of the tombstone. Phonic's going to keep beating through J4. He doesn't have
silence is 4.
Silence hits almost everyone. Violi's out, but what have you really got? The Eclipse needs to do some work here. They've managed to get through 2. Can they get more?
Oh, they
No.
got him.
They actually got, can they? Big Num, the charge is coming back in again from Phonic. He bought back, and with the charge forward, he's actually going to get
Phonic might just die again.
Ilden's going to stop. He's trying to battle this. He's still got the Aegis Immortal. Phonic is dead. It's a dive back. Death Prophet has to buy back now. They will take out the bottom racks, and Team Empire are unable to stop this push from Power Rangers. Maybe they can kill off Ilden, but remember, it's only the Aegis Immortal. Now Big Num sacrifices himself. Shaq will leave Ilden behind to die. Ilden may want to spend some of that 2.5k gold he just managed to pick up. He's trying to battle as hard as he can. And actually he's almost finding a kill onto Aloha. But he dies, he loses 300 of his gold. But they do take bottom racks.
Yeah, Resolution just found out right there that he was not as tanky as he originally anticipated. And that fight was almost perfect for PR. Like, Empire couldn't burst down the Luna in time, so what ends up happening is that eventually he gets the Eclipse off. It almost entirely just hits heroes, and that was their bread and butter, being able to fight in that kind of area where they don't have to push onto the high ground. Empire wasn't quite ready for it because they went for the smoke ink on mid, thinking that PR might reset, but PR said, nah, we're just going to immediately go for your high ground.
Really surprised the positioning though. Like, I can understand it when Phonic, like, you think about it, like, the whole fight ended up happening in this box. You had 2 heroes coming in from behind, being the Undying as well as the Death Prophet, and then the Spirit Breaker charging in, and the other 2 coming in. Like, as far as a play goes, this is the greatest surround you could have looked for from Empire.
Yeah.
But they all ran into them.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the Tombstone went down way too quick. Like, they just didn't have enough cover for it, and...
You could have put it up on the high ground, like it could have been over like on the cliffside over here, and it still would have been in range.
Yeah, he set that right into the middle of 4 heroes. They just all attacked it at once. It went down instantly. PR was so focused on it. Probably the bigger thing though is that Aloha didn't have the Battle Fury, like you said. He was just shy of it. Yeah. I thought for some reason he had the purse, because most people just complete the purse. But he was like 300 gold. Now he's got it, and that makes things significantly harder. But PR is going to feel a lot more emboldened, just because they were able to take the racks. The same issue still exists for them in that they don't have the experience, but it might not even matter, because now that so many heroes have used the buyback, all it takes is one fight for PR to go right. If they pick off the Death Prophet or the Spirit Breaker dies early, it's an instant 4v5. Now you've got some wiggle room again.
I'm actually interested to see then what Aloha Dance does with his money, because he's the only one with buyback on Team Empire at the moment. So if he actually does spend his money to buy something like a Crystallis, for example, and starts building up his damage output and then does die, like, is it even worth it then as Empire? Because she's still going to be sitting there as Empire going, in the late game we should have this, right?
Radiant's
I think
bottom
so.
tower is under attack.
It's just getting to that point. 2 racks down is, even if you have the late game, takes a lot out of you. Because at that point you're just playing for one set.
Aloha. Cheshire Cat, the Wave of Terror is going to connect, and Hand of God will keep Cheshire alive. He
He's
jumps
gonna go
inside
for
the
more.
Shadow Blade, but he is being charged. Mad knows he's there.
I don't think he knows about this, but it's not really going to matter because everybody from PR is rotating in.
Mad's going to go for the stun. He can swap himself out this, and, well, came a little bit too late because of the stun. So Mad dies, and Phonic just pulled out the second he got hit by the Thunder God's Wrath.
Still, just trying to buy time. Everybody has to get as much farm as they can. Resolution now has the Octarine core completed, which is going to make him a lot stronger. Spirit Siphon plus this. It's going to just be a little bit harder to kill him. And that low cooldown wave. It's like the constant less than 4 second Crypt Storm.
I'm wondering, once he's got his BKB, what is there from Power Rangers to really stop him? Because we have to start looking at physical damage then. And that turns eyes directly towards Illidan. And Illidan doesn't really have a lot of physical damage at the moment.
I mean, it does an okay amount though.
Yeah. It's not bad, but up against a Death Prophet who's got Octarine as well as Siphoning, going to need more on this Luna. I love this pickup as well from the Zeus, amplifying up all the damage now with the Veil of Discord. So
Oh, that's huge for Zeus.
They got a lot of chances to pick off the Empire heroes before they get immunity.
The lack of a mech is really hurting Empire too. That was what allowed PR to stay in the fight. That was almost an ideal fight too for Empire. They got the 4-man silence by Illidan.
Oh, there's trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Support's coming over from the Nature's Prophet, the TPing and extra help too. Cheshire Cat, he gets the spread over on Funnick, and Funnick's got no way out this apart from his Nether Strike, and he'll just pop to the Eclipse.
Middle tower is under attack.
So Luna getting some extra cash. Funnick's aggression not paying off. Now we start the Ancient battle. It's now got his Aghanim Scepter up. He did get nerfed though, like now no longer having that 30-second cooldown with the Aghanim's ulti.
Still, the Holy Persuasion, the creeps do so much for you.
We saw what Kuro's been able to do with those creeps.
Yeah, bonus armor for you. From the Ancient Black Dragon, you can go high ground with this creep. In a second, he's gonna grab a Mud Golem that allows everybody to just be so much tankier. This is what the Chen needed. This is what's gonna give PR the advantage to be able to go high ground. It buffs people up so much.
I want to see where Cheshire Cat TPs to. Funnick is... okay, he's gonna have to pull out now. Cheshire Cat waited just long enough that Funnick charged all the way from base and he was about to reveal himself.
It's almost like a free vid booster, by the way, that creep, for everybody on your team. It's significant in fights like this, especially when they're so close, and the Ember Spirit hasn't gone out of control yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Although this
attack.
is a sick amount of farm from Aloha. He's just trying to power farm as much as he can. He's gonna have to save for the buyback though, because
He's got a moment. He's 316 over it.
he's the biggest hero for them right now. The Death Prophet still doesn't have it for another minute. Same with the Spirit Breaker.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mad's trying to help him. In the Ancient Stack, the tier 2 tower is going to drop in
Radiant's
PR.
bottom tower is under
Oh, what do they get? And they would love to wait a little bit longer. J4's almost got his Aghanim Scepter on that Witch Doctor. If he had that in the next fight, things could be so different. But they get the BKB over on Illidan, and it may just be enough.
I think they're gonna wait for it. I don't think there's any point. Because the Witch Doctor Aghanims, a lot of these heroes, it's not worth it.
Radiant's
But
bottom
when
tower is under
can
attack.
impact the fight that heavily, think about it. If he gets a really good Witch Doctor ultimate off, change the complexion of the game for them. And they do lack damage a little bit. The burst damage of the Witch Doctor ult is really good.
Well, he's going to get it now.
Yeah, and he's about to hit level 11. This is definitely an item worth waiting for. Especially when you know that the next push might be your final one.
If they no, they got no lockdown.
There's no way they're killing him.
They could do a lot of damage, but there's no lockdown.
They're just waiting for J4 to get 11 plus his Ags. That's all they're waiting for.
Yeah.
There's no reason to fight before it.
If he gets his catapult, then he's got both.
Here we go.
Boom. Level 11 up, BKB is done.
Oh, Roche is almost up too. This is perfect timing for them.
Cheshire Cat's also sitting on a very large wad of cash. He's got 3.9k gold on this profit moment.
He's gonna go for Orchid, like we talked about. He has to. You know that the Ember isn't fearing anything right now. So a lot of the times when you see the Orchid, the build-up for Ember is to immediately go for the Manta, but he might not expect this timing. Especially if Cheshire Cat just ulties, gets some money right now, go for the Orchid, and now he might even go for the kill on the Ember at some point.
Dire Observer will just flag the fact that they have the Aghanim Scepter over on the Witch Doctor. So Empire can actually prepare during the fight. There was a ping that came out from, I think it was Mad that did it. But they have to be aware of what's happening. The Dire Observer Ward's about to time out, so Mad can't just use that either. He's actually going to plant down a fresh one. He's so close. He doesn't break the smoke. He's just far enough to the right doing the Ancient Stack. They didn't break the smoke.
Oh, this could be huge.
Which means they can find Resolution, but
He's hightailing it.
He's got a Yules and a BKB there.
Yeah, he's gone. I read this game wrong though. I thought that Empire was just gonna stomp all over it at some point when they held like 3 pushes in a row. But
You weren't really expecting the...
that one fight was just, it changed so much in the game. Like everybody picked up items after that. It was like BKB, Orchid, Aghanim Scepter on Witch Doctor.
I'm still thinking the bigger pickoffs. Like Empire running hero after hero, that dual offlane dying twice in a row, and then Resolution feeding himself. It gave Adams timings and progression for Power Rangers, which I never thought was going to be there.
I mean, I think that mattered less than the fight at bottom. I think the fight at bottom was almost all of it.
Oh, they're coming in.
Oh,
What a time
timing.
to pause. The courier is flying directly into Roshan. Like, if you want a beacon saying they are doing Roshan, this is kind of it to deliver one Observer Ward. The idea of it is that they put it up on the cliffside so they can see Empire coming at them.
This is the worst part about this is that NP doesn't have TP for 15 seconds. What he was thinking was that the Ember was going to go for the split push. Everything is kind of just screwed now for PR.
They don't have the Zeus either. Like, he
Yeah,
only just
they're
TP'd
gonna-
the bottom tower.
They're seeing him under the like this pause timing was the worst possible thing that could have happened right now for PR because they're pinging out the Zeus. They know that Shaq is far away. They know that Roshan is happening too, just because of the courier. and the Nature's Prophet, even if he wants to be there, he can't be. And this is such a big hero for them. He's their Orchid carrier, and not only that, Toby, he has a DD rune. Everything could be perfect right now. He does like 300 damage a hit, but he just isn't there, and he can't get there. So they're gonna have to last 15 seconds without him. And there's Zeus.
It won't take long for the Ember Spirit to get there either. The VS is just around the corner. Because I'm thinking, I'm just basically doing a battle of numbers at the moment. You're not far enough through Roshan that you're going to kill Roshan before Empire initiate.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a guarantee right now.
Oh, this really hurts them a lot. They're gonna see everything coming. You have time to plan this too. This is almost all just Empire being able to say, "Oh, look what's happening." Obviously, they couldn't have really predicted it, and Mad was having internet troubles anyways.
Yep.
So this wasn't
intentional.
Yeah, and you can't really not think about these things. Like, you're gonna discuss them as a team.
Yeah.
Every team has been in this position, and they're just like, okay, game's paused. What's going on? Let's talk about it. It just so happens that the pause is like, they see the Zeus coming, like he's far away.
Well, on the bright side, Power Rangers cameras aren't locked. Ever since the puppy pause situation, it locks the cameras of the team that pauses.
Yeah, but you can see on the minimap with the ward alone.
Yeah, true. True. How this goes down. No fear, so all you gotta do is just throw the tombstone up on the hillside too. And there's no vision, like Empire, PR don't have any vision up there.
They're saying go, they're saying TC.
This is gonna be so brutal. Be so brutal. Like, I'm assuming the first action of Raz here is to kill the courier. And then triggers his ulti, or silence into the pit with the Crypt Swarm.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have to think this through too hard.
No. Just have Power Rangers then return. Like, the dream here if you're PR is that the smoke breaks on both Resolution and No Fear, and J4 gets both of them locked in a paralyzing cast stun.
You've got BKB though on Res.
Dream is lost.
If No Fear just has to get his tombstone on the high ground. Resolution causes a lot of chaos. The charge comes in. Game becomes hard. I guess the only downside for Empire though is that even if they're, I think things are okay-ish maybe for PR. Aloha has to TP and then run down. Same with Mad.
Well, let's see how it unfolds. So Courier's just sitting there, Resolution, yep, he kills it, Tombstone's up, and PR just bailing out of here.
Hell yeah, get out of there, PR.
Not want to use his BKB yet, but because they've walked in close enough, the charge is over on the Zeus. Funny cancelled the last moment. J4 paralyzing cast, trying to buy that space, but he is so dead. But that is kind of a good thing for you, except for the Chen being called out as well. Thought if Big Numb was going to get out, then it wouldn't be as bad. It's just the fact that like you didn't lose any of your cores to PR. Cheshire can, if he wants to, I don't know if he wants to TP bottom. He could do some damage to that mid tower or the top tower.
This is pretty rough. You just picked up the Orchid onto the Nature's Prophet as a counter, but now the Ember Spirit is going to get an Aegis. So there goes that opportunity.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So I'm wondering, like, why wouldn't you, like, you could have added pressure behind, maybe force them back straight away. Ilden, it looks like he's looking for her just to pick off. The Treant's at least giving them the vision. So.
Alright.
Have to play their strengths, PR. Like, you've got a bottom ranks advantage, you've got a Nature's Prophet. Just split the crap out of the game.
PR's in an awkward position now, because the Ember has an Aegis. Killing him twice is already a Herculean feat. And then on top of that, it kind of hurts your timing, because you don't want this game to just continue to space out. You want to apply pressure constantly. It's just difficult, because you don't want to take a fight against an Aegis Ember Spirit.
They're going to try and catch up Funnick. Put down two really nice aggressive Observer Wards, which allow Nature's Prophet to push out that top lane. When Resolution gets hit by Wrath of Nature, however, it flags a bit of a problem. So they start, oh, where's the Penitence? Cheshire Cat comes in, they trap Resolution in the Tombstone, try and break him free, but the Death Ward, it's all that physical damage. Resolution down for 86 seconds, they clean up the Tombstone as well. And the middle lane's already there, so they can attack into the tier 3 and try and force the buybacks.
That was such a huge pick-off for them.
And there's the buyback. Do you back up now, though?
Depending on the positioning, you probably just run.
The smoke at Cheshire Cat's TPing.
The Ember Spirit is trying to chase people down, but he's too far away. He probably gets a Chen at least.
Just coming. Yeah, Shaq just letting him go.
Force the buyback though on the Death Prophet. That's huge. Like they keep picking off. They keep forcing Resolution to go for the buyback, and instead of the Ember Sphere being the hero that gets caught out, which is fairly significant right now for them. And Empire, I guess they're kind of in a position where they can go for aggression themselves at this point, but they still kind of look comfortable being able to go for the late game. Just they can't afford to lose these heroes. Buyback costs them a lot. Any sort of straight numbers advantage is so huge for PR.
Where you charge, not Phonic. Be always looking for Cheshire Cat if possible. Still interested to see where Cheshire Cat goes from here too. Like we saw him get the Orchid. Now he's back at the same kind of like amount of gold banked. About 3.3k gold on him.
Blessings upon a
Do you try and get?
warrior.
Well, is a BKB even useful in this game for him to stand in a fight? Do you try and bring something else like a Necrobook up against a non-BKB here like an Hemisphere, which you now get your Orchid on? The Sprout will give him the vision, the Death Ward. Oh, that Sleight of Fist! It kills off Nature's Prophet and he gets it away. Go over to the Eclipse with the BKB, man. Slow down just enough with the Lucent Beams. He should die unless he gets 9 up to neutrals. This will not happen. No fear moving forward. He's still got the Tombstone, but he's in a little bit of trouble with that Veil of Discord being planted on him. He's taking so much more damage, especially when Shaq can get that ball out. Aloha, he's come back. He'll burn the Aegis to the Immortal. The sandbag is there, but Nature's Prophet now going to buy back as well. They want to try and keep buying this one. Aloha, Sleight of Fist, and dodges away. Phonic trying to run out. He's actually going to TP himself out, but can't stop.
Oh, here comes Resolution.
He tries to go manly style. He wants to kill off Illidan, and what he wants, well, will it be grand with the help of Aloha then? Looking for that cleave, yeah.
Oh,
well,
look at him heal.
Healing so much, and they're going to kill off practically all of Power Rangers apart from Big Num this time. Oh, that's a big fight for Team Empire. Buyback's worth it or not.
Resolution just like, alright, whatever. I for a second he forgot what hero he was playing. And then he's like, oh, I'm playing Death Prophet. It didn't work the first 2 times, but I'll be able to 1v5 this. Just kind of casually strolls in, Spirit Siphons a bunch of people while Aloha sits in the back. Very smartly just jumping in between. Absolute stomp that fight by Empire, as they gained so much out of that. They forced the buyback out of the Nature's Prophet, who had quite a gold bank, and then he diebacks. He buys back thinking like, oh, maybe Aloha won't notice this, I can get a kill on their Ember. That would be huge for them. That's such a big spree, 7-0, but unable to do so. And now Empire's going to do some damage finally to this tier 3 tower.
Solution almost lost Yeshiva's guard. He flew the courier over a creep wave.
Look how unafraid Aloha is now that the Nature's Prophet is dead. It's like, I don't care. It's like, I've got a spirit up, you've got no way of stunning me. Look at me go.
He bounced a Resolution, but yeah, they really can't control him at all, can they? The advantage is still that bottom lane, though. It keeps pushing into Empire's turf.
Don't matter less and less, though, as the game goes on and we get more farm.
Cheshire goes for the Orchid with Thunder God's Wrath, Veil of Discord, Spirit Breaker. This will be the death of Phonic. He pops from the Orchid. Now Mad's on the run. The Tombstone's still making it difficult for PR to instantly chase. They got another stun, not in time. But this is PR going for a GG push if they can. Go straight up mid, they get rid of the Tombstone now. And Spirit Breaker is properly dead now for 26 seconds. There's no Aegis anymore left to fight against. There is, however, Aloha with 5.3k gold on that Ember.
I mean, you can't really go for the straight up 5-man. Just like that. I think you'd get repelled. You know that the Ember Spirit has buyback. If he buys back and you get wiped, at that point, you've probably lost too much control.
So what do you then do? Like, you wait until you can afford something like a Scythe of Vice, so you have more control over on the Ember, and
you can
still kill that way?
You can still try to find a pick off. Like, we've seen that Empire isn't immune to getting picked off here or there. If they could get the Death Prophet, or catch somebody that doesn't have buyback out, and they get a decent numbers game going, Phonic doesn't really add anything right now. Picking him off right there, it's not enough for them to warrant them saying, okay, let's go for the 5-man immediately. I think what should happen is, if you get a pick off onto Resolution, then it probably warrants it. Or the Ember Spirit and force them to do a buyback and then go back and then play around that. Because you know once a team has buyback on cooldown, you pretty much have to play really safe. And that opens up a lot of space in itself.
Just what the doctor ordered.
J4.
Yeah, they found an opening. The Observer Ward gave him a little bit of extra information. J4 now going to get another strike. They're keeping their distance so the paralyzing cast can't screw with them. Then he gets silenced up, so J4's down. 50 seconds without a Witch Doctor ulti. But instantly Prophet goes to the top lane, the momentum was given to the mid lane, and the bottom lane is still the super creeps. Aloha doesn't have much problem getting rid of this. In fact, he's also protecting himself more. He's got a Lincoln Sphere now. So with that, you're actually making Cheshire Cat less useful. He's almost got to use the Sprout to trigger the Lincoln Sphere. But that animation timing is way too long.
Invis is going to be picked up by Cheshire Cat, as now it's going to be Empire that's going to be on the assault. They're going to feel really comfortable. Shiva's guard is completed. The buyback is almost up for resolution, as well as Aloha Dance having one available to him. And he's got the Lincoln Sphere. You've got all of these calculative items. You're just going to go for the straight up push.
Radiant's middle tower has
I
fallen.
like this army on top, however. So you got the Chen Ancient army plus a bunch of Treants. Ember can deal with this so easily, though. And they're all grouped up. This is going to be the easiest CS of his.
That lasted so long.
So they can separate. Cheshire. He goes invis. Resolution does have a stream telling him where he is, but now Cheshire just TP's out. He is going to go for that scythe. He's still short of the money, however. Or is he? It's okay. So we've got an Illidan Manta style. He will expend his buyback for it. Okay, I was wrong. I didn't realize that Mystic Staff was actually Cheshire Cats. He's got his Scythe of Ice.
Nice.
They actually have a good extra to stable against the Ember now.
It's not just the Ember, it's if you can catch it on the DP before BKB and blow her up. If you can stop her from preventing like the ultimate or getting multiple Spirit Siphons off, that's your opportunity. But before the Roshan comes up, this is a really good idea by Empire. They're going to get aggressive. They're even going to find Shaq. He'd be such a big target for them if they could get on top of him.
Well, they're pretty much there, but they not exactly on him.
Illidan would be just as big.
He's going to BKB and Manasar. Cheshire Cat TV's in the middle of it, and that big
that Hex!
damage! And now with the Death Ward as well, they won't have enough damage from it. No Fear is going to go down. Aloha will join him, and Empire, they're getting wiped! Revolution is the final standing man. He TV's out under the cover of his own BKB. But that is 4 heroes dead, 2 without buyback, and Team Empire.
Oh
Wow.
boy. Illidan throwing down the well played.
Wow.
With the smiley face. This guy, no chill.
Roshan's still not there, but I'm almost happy the PR aren't going to take him because they could just take mid. If they can force a buyback over on the Ember Spirit, which they're now able to do.
I think they still go anyways. It's 2v5. Best.
If they can just take a second lane of Rax here, they keep their hopes alive in this game.
I don't even think it's about keeping your hopes alive. I think that they're flat out just winning right now. I think that
it still feels odd against the Ember Spirit to say that they've got this game.
no, but
back.
Cheshire Cat has so many ways to disable it. If they kill him right here, the game's just done.
Well, they can't get the extra control. He breaks free of the Hex. Now Cheshire Cat, he's being drained down. They've taken the melee rank. Cheshire Cat's being sent back right now by the Chen. The Hand of God helps with this. But Resolution, well, he's going to catch out J4. That's going to be the only one. Well, the charge forward, maybe it won't be. The Zeus was set up in towards the air. So they'll end up catching out 2 of the heroes from Power Range. They take out the melee racks in the mid. The bottom lane is still having a play. And Resolution, Raquan plays them back. And the saltiness between them. Either as cheeky tongue or
Man, I'm a fan of this. I'm always down with the trash talk, man. It just makes Dota fun.
bring back the biff.
Okay, so I don't know why the time has passed for PR to be talked as if they're trying to come back into anything. Like, they're still finding really good opportunities. Like, on the first one, I agree with you. Like, I think that Empire did have the advantage, and they continue to, especially when they repelled. But I think the time for them to,
It just seems to be the weird position. Logically, I look at it, and I'm seeing an Ember Spirit that should be able to repel almost everything the Power Rangers is doing.
Yeah, it was weird because I didn't think that he was really in a position to die, but I think they just underrated the Witch Doctor ultimate right there. And then on top of that, their major damage dealer, the Death Prophet, she couldn't get her ultimate or her BKB off. She got immediately hexed, which is what I was talking about, right? Is that if you can disable her before that point, so then she gets everything off when she's at like a third of her HP, but then you just right-click kill her. That opening from PR, she didn't expect it. She didn't expect to get hexed right there.
Like, that's such a weird positioning as well with Empire. Like, you're playing around Fog of War.
Oh, that Witch Doctor ult though was sick. Well played.
This is one of those times where I was like, okay, we gotta get some slow motion replay, because I want to see that fight again in the, like, the slowest of motions.
That I did like that counter passive aggressive, well played. From Resolution. This game has just gotten like 10 times better for me, just because I know that they're gonna be salty at each other.
Alright, they found Mad out of position. Prophet's gonna TP in, starts with a Hex, follows it up with the Wrath of Nature. With the Orchid there, comes a little bit later. Mad, oh wow.
He's
dead. Still dead though. Yep, he is. The Orchid will find the kill. But the rest of Empire's looking for some revenge. They're able to bump back the Zeus, but now into the Eclipse from Illidan. He can trigger the BKB if he wants to, but then again, what's the point? He doesn't even need
look at that Witch Doctor ulti damage.
Forcing him back to Resolution. This time he'll get his BKB off. He's walking around with cheese, so he's really just trying to get to the thick of it. Soak up as much as he can. The heal on that Rob is unbelievable. Illidan's still taking so much damage now, Resolution. He has to trigger the cheese. The BKB is fallen off, and Aloha back into the fight. They catch out Shaq. They're going after him. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Cheshire Cat just chasing after No Fear. The Soul Rip's not going to make it possible for him to get the kill. The gem will drop. He leaves his gem behind.
Do it, Resolution. I'll chat them. You know you want to.
He's actually now got his refresher rob as well now too. And so he's got BKB double, and he's got his exorcism twice over.
And that's the fight that you want to take if you're Empire. You want to be the one leading the assault. You want to be the one making it so that PR are using spells defensively, because when Resolution gets in there, he pops his BKB, he has his ult going, you've got the Spirit Siphon off on multiple targets. This is the type of engagement that you want to take. They just couldn't fight it because he just was underestimating what Cheshire Cat could do in conjunction with the Witch Doctor ultimate. But now that they understand, like, we have to plot our fights like this, getting a little bit more up-tempo for Empire, the Ember Spirit, correctly assessing how to play this game now, that he understands that he's not just invincible.
Gesture. Shadow Blade's on cooldown for one more second, but Ember's gonna leave him alone.
There's still a gem on the ground.
The one left by Chen?
It's like everyone just kind of neglected to take it.
What do we got? We got a Monkey King bar now done for the Ember Spirit.
Counteract
and he's basically 6 slotted now.
Yeah, just to counter out the B-Fly.
Oh.
But Resolution used up all his gold. He does have the buyback, the cooldown available, just not the gold.
I'm kind of okay with the refresh rob, however. Like you talked about, like where you want to pay out the BKB, you get the ulti out. He has to use this to try and win the team fight. But after you win the team fight, then the push power from Death Prophet just disappears. So you need the refresh rob to have that ulti again. But right now they use to take out the tier 2 tower, then instantly back up.
They just can't afford for Cheshire Cat to go for the split push or anything like that. You have to play reactionary here if you're Empire. Back up a little, chill for a quick second, reset things, allow your Death Prophet to get her buyback back.
Alright. I'm keeping my ISO firmly fixed on Aloha.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have buyback. Like he's still in a 1 minute and 30-second window where he does not have a buyback.
He should be fine though. You're just gonna farm your own jungle because you know that, and he has a spirit back. He probably just
Still safe.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for like bigger items over on PR. You got a Glimmer Cape over on J4.
Okay, this is a little aggressive by Aloha. He's gonna get caught out here. Do they have the damage for it? The Witch Doctor goes down too.
Oh! He's away though. He's away. They need another disabler. They need something.
They just needed like one right click from anything. He got down to 200 HP. If they had like the Luna there, for example, that was guaranteed death. That was way closer than it needed to be.
Empire's getting really aggressive with their positioning still on the top. Like that gank, yeah, it failed. The Death Ward was committed. Resolution is still fairly exposed now down this bottom lane, and he can still get caught out.
Can you imagine
he
if
doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere, he can still get disabled by the Prophet.
Can you imagine if they actually caught him there? That could have just been the game.
It really could have been. Well, it still would have been a 1 minute window, but they had everything up there just push straight away. And these lanes just keep coming. I'm liking this. Okay, don't have enough damage by a Daedalus over on Nature's Prophet. Finally we get, it's not the full crit Prophet, but he's on his way.
And he does a lot of damage right now with just being able to Orchid Hex anybody.
It's worthwhile, because what passives are there to even want to remove? Like, it may just be a stat item which you can get.
If you absolute 6 slot, you can go for it, but he still has room to grow. I would prefer going for probably the, what is that item called? The moon shards before.
You get moon shards?
Yeah, you eat moon shards. You can ditch the TP too. It's not even 6 slotted yet.
I was actually wondering if you ditch the TP and go with something more like a Maelstrom Mjolnir.
Yeah, you can go for that and then go for moon shards, eat them, then you go for the silver edge.
Yeah. Listen. No fear for a moment. That's why Cheshire Cat TP's in to scout out with that Shadow Blade. Almost like a walking ward right now for PR's initiation, because this is still like the crazy games for PR where they don't have that jump in initiator. Like, you don't have someone like a Clockwork or a Tusker or a Spirit Breaker or a Bat Rider, these guys which are able to jump and give you an advantage early on. Like, they just have to win by vision and positioning.
Right now for Empire, they're in a position where 1 Rax could just potentially mean the game. They have some ways to defend Mega Creeps with the Ember Spirit and the Death Prophet, but you never want to be put into a position where you're Mega Creeped at just 45 minutes into the game. Then it just takes PR 1 really good push to kind of tip the cards over.
I just feel like Empire, with this push that's happening on top, all they need to do is just take one really good fight and then just go for GG, because with this split push Chen army, as well as the Nature's Prophet, they're always going to be looking behind themselves. Like, maybe you can get 1 Rax which will balance it out for you, but at that point, like, what is your options? Okay, well, it just means we've got 1 lane that's only pushing us, but Nature's Prophet's still afflicting them all.
What a hype game, Toby.
It's
The all chats, the back and forth. And this is what Dota's all about.
This is not what I was expecting after game 1.
Yeah.
Because after game 1, PR were made to look a little foolish.
I am very entertained. Now I care about the game. It's like, before it's just you cast so much Dota that, you know, just like game by game, but now that you've got the all chat, the well played meme, this is all just working out.
Well,
both teams are probably doubly invested now after that.
Well, there's a lot of history between these teams, and with all the CIS players, almost every single one of them have played on a team with each other. And the fact that Illidan is actually becoming more of a stand-in as well for Power Rangers, it's...
I think it was in good fun though.
I
don't really know these guys.
Resolution is not a mean person by any stretch of any imagination.
I lent that guy $100 3 months ago when they came for D2CL, and then I thought he forgot about it, and then he comes to me in America and like with the exact exchange rate, hands me back my money. It was like the cutest thing.
He is one of the nicest guys ever. I really enjoyed like when I initially moved to Europe and I was doing Starlighter casting. Resolution was there playing with IC Cup. He would just sit with me for like a long time, just talking about Dota and making me feel really welcome in Ukraine. It was brownie points, big brownie points.
Empire, they're in a solid position still. Their Ember Spirit still does a shit ton of damage.
He could do more.
Yeah,
he's still got 7.3k.
You've always got the Divine Rapier as a backup.
But what are you going to drop? Like, you still want to have the Battle Fury because you're fighting up against mass army. You already picked up the Blink Dagger and an Abyssal. Sorry, not an Abyssal. I was thinking Abyssal in the back of my mind. The Monkey King buff.
Octarine Core completed on Zeus. Quite a significant pickup for him. He's got his own little cooldown reduction, which is really significant for Zeus. The Arc Lightning alone. Divine Rapier is now picked up, which is what we talked about, right? This is what you do as an Ember Spirit when your back's against the wall.
What does he drop for it though? Does he actually let go of the Blink Dagger and just turn this into a push game? Because he kind of needs the Blink.
I think you can just hold on to it for now and get into a position first where you're in a do or die situation.
Okay, so the buyback stats were... I've had this up on the screen for a while, but we should probably bring attention to it. Death Prophet, Ember, and Nature's Prophet are the only 3 with buyback in the game currently.
Yeah, smoke up from PR. They're desperately looking for some kind of pick-off that could just potentially end the game.
I know, Empire's not giving it to them. They've tightened their ranks a lot more.
The NP is going to go for the TP blind here.
Oh, he's found Mad, as well as Novia, but, well, they see him. There's a chance it's over on Novia with the death ward. He pulls them apart, but Mad actually forced them to find a way that actually get a little bit of space to allow Aloha to come in from behind, doing so much. There goes your Eclipse, but Resolution with his BKB. So many of those charges actually end up hitting on the Undying, so he'll end up dropping, but that Death Prophet is so damn fat. Illidan is now also isolated on the low ground. He'll go down. The Nature's Prophet, he's the last man left alive and instantly starts to push up on top, but that's the big fight for Empire, and it happens just before Roshan's about to spawn.
Yeah, and Aloha, that was the first reveal of his Divine Rapier. Absolutely goes to town right there as he just deals so much damage. Nobody from PR can stand up to it. The Zeus was in the thick of things, but he is not a hero that's meant to just battle out. You're meant to just kind of kite around, but they forced him to be into the center of the storm, and he can really get himself out, and now Empire's in such a good position with 4 down. They can decide to go for the forced buybacks.
There is no buybacks.
Oh, there just straight up isn't.
Yep. As I said, like, they were all short of their money. The only one who bought back was Nature's Prophet straight away.
I think Empire's under the impression that there are buybacks. That's why you're seeing
the
Resolution. Yeah, he's just like gingerly touching his toes forward. He's like, he's gonna buy back.
Wait for it.
And then now they're gonna just find out, okay, there's no buyback.
Well, they can fortify anyway. They've almost got Zeus alive, so they're gonna buy it a little bit of time here. But like, what do you care if you're PR? You've still got 2 lanes of Rax's advantage. Yes, that fight didn't go well, but Empire's not inflicting heavy damage into your base. So this game is still manageable if you're on PR's side.
The scary thing though is that Cheshire Cat no longer has the buyback himself, and he is one of your significant heroes. In that fight, again, a lot of the heroes from PR are really relying on being able to fight in the open space where they're able to hit and run. But Cheshire Cat opens up, and then everybody's on top of him at once.
So what do you do now with the Aegis and Cheese? We're faced with this option again. I'm assuming the Cheese goes to the Undying. But if there's someone else, okay, if Funnick could take the Aegis quite easily and just be that suicide front runner. But they actually drop the Lincoln Sphere. Funnick will end up carrying it for him.
I mean, what's the point?
Wait,
you don't really need it.
Wait, no, that's Funnick's own Lincoln Sphere. It's No Fear. No Fear is carrying the Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah.
I had to like, stop myself from having to check.
You just keep putting it on Aloha. It's the same thing. I guess he could have gone for the Lotus Orb too, but it doesn't quite matter.
Well, here they come. All ultis are back up again. The buybacks are still short.
Nobody has buyback right now. This is going to be really rough for them to defend.
They're going to spam Aloha. Instantly blinks in. He caught out Big Num. Ghost will protect the Chen for now, however. He's got the Hand of God. With the Eclipse going on, Funnick, he's just so deep. He's got the cheese, but hasn't triggered off the Death Ward. They've taken out 2.
Oh, they're
it's
holding.
Mad as well as 2, and there goes Resolution. He actually pops. He's got buyback available. Funnick's still on the back lines here, but who do you go for? Funnick's probably going to be the easiest target for you, mainly because your big nukers are over there. So Funnick, there's your last attack to get it. And the Ember Spirit is now the last one left alive. The game is on again.
Oh, alright, so all of a sudden, you know, PR was in a position where they had no buybacks. There was an Aegis Ember Spirit with a Divine Rapier, and the strength of whatever, it's just sheer force of will.
You know, the funny thing is, he can't have his Lincoln Sphere back. He's actually going to carry both the Divine Rapier as well as the Monkey King bar, so he can be disabled, because the Lincoln Sphere is over on the Undying.
Yep.
Who is currently dead.
The Undying does have buyback though, and everything is going to be forced out right now from Empire, but...
Megas. They're looking for Megas. If it's possible right now. Cheshire Cat runs forward, they get the BKB out from Resolution, and well, how long is this going to last? He refresher orbs and now throws out the ulti. Doesn't have that
Illidan's caught out alone.
Illidan down for the count. Just trying to get out Cheshire Cat, only barely escaping.
Illidan
the
does...
bottom lane is like pushing in. The PR still have a lot of space.
Yeah, and Illidan does have the buyback. He's one of the fortunate heroes on his team to still have it up. So things are going to be okay for PR. The refresher orb was popped, as well as multiple buybacks. You forced it onto 3 different heroes from Empire right now. So Empire has to be really careful. If Resolution just goes down once, could mean just the end of an exciting game. PR, they're just... Every single time that I think their backs are against the wall, somehow they hold, and it's in fact Empire that's taking the brunt of the damage. It just feels like they're rubber banding on them repeatedly. It's like, okay, we're gonna bend, but we're never gonna break.
It's crazy though, like how deep they went. You had Funnick basically having his own wall over on the side, and J4's positioning again this death ward. They're not catching him out, so he's getting a full, like almost a full duration damage off with the amplification of like the Veil of Discord for Shaq to do his damage. It's just. It's one of these games where, like, one fight doesn't even lose it for you, because what if Empire wins one fight, they maybe take a second lane of Rax. But they probably don't finish the game. Where if PR win the next fight, they probably take Megas. But they probably won't finish the game.
Alright, so Empire is getting on the aggressive, it looks like, but if this fails, Toby, that could potentially just be the game. You've got to be careful here. Can't really afford to lose any of the 3 heroes that were forced to use their buybacks. The only one that has it available right now is the Ember Spirit on Empire, but desperately don't want to lose that Divine, especially not to the Luna.
Luna, I never even thought about what she would. She could just drop the drums in the middle of the fight and pick it up.
The unfortunate part for her is the fact that she's only at a 5-second BKB now. But when you've got a Divine Rapier, Satanic, Anti-style, you've got enough defensive capabilities.
I think that immunity is really going to help save her anyway. There's so much physical damage that can come from Empire when the Rapier's there.
Yeah, Resolution's got his Boots of Travel 2 coming in. Doesn't really care about buyback because he doesn't have it, so saving gold for him is a little bit pointless.
At least it means he can follow the Ember Spirit wherever he moves on the map.
Yeah. Hey, PR have multiple buybacks right now. Could decide to get aggressive if they want.
I may wait just if there's 22 seconds till Prophet's got his back off cooldown. Oh, Cheshire. Instantly into Invis. That Shadow Blade has paid for itself like 10 times over in this game.
It's just late game when cores can't hold it.
Oh, Big Num. Oh, he's gonna run down and away. He was coming over to grab one of the Ancients that had already been farmed up.
Gonna make himself out. Roshan's got a 3-minute cooldown. As PR, they're not too afraid right now.
Is this a... What's Prophet? Is this gonna just be a Monkey King farm? Because he's not battling up against any evasion. No one's gone for anything more, unless they feel like they have to go a Rapier build over on this Nature's Prophet. How do you work against backdoor regen? When you got this much damage, like you're doing over 400 damage a pop on the Nature's Prophet, can he actually fight backdoor regen?
He'd be pretty close.
Can he also survive this gang from Aloha? Aloha's gonna come in all high. Oh, okay, yeah, he can. That Shadow Blade's still doing its work.
Get himself out there. Ember, though, doesn't want to risk anything. Being forced to buy back here would be really bad.
Crazy amount of money he's got.
Oh, this is such a good timing. 2 minutes left on the buyback from the Death Prophet. But Empire, they don't want to get into this fight.
The stuns! Can't control them.
They didn't have Cheshire Cat.
No, they didn't. Now Resolution triggers his ulti. The BKB's been triggered. Man's gonna swap him back away to safety. Illidan has let the Eclipse go, but they're only immune targets for
Resolution's gotta be careful.
But yep, now
oh, here's the Twitch Doctor ulti!
He's just doing it from the trees! Finally, Bunny comes in with a stun, and then the Ember Spirit mobs their life up. They need more. The Aloha dance. He's carving him from behind, but no, he's out! He's away to safety. He's coming back in for one more Spider Fist, and with the help of Funnick, he can do it.
Oh, he's gonna pick him up!
The Divine Rapier's on the ground! Big Thumb, he's there to save it. He drops down the Demon Edge. They'll pick up the Rapier onto Cheshire Cat. But there's no Luna. The buyback's still available. Now the Luna
they're gonna go for it. They know that the Death Prophet buyback is on cooldown right now. The Ember Spirit's preemptively gonna pop it. He still has money for the buy number 2.
Yeah, he's gonna go buy it too.
Hello?
Courier, but Illidan, do they see it? They saw him making his trip. There's the Rapier. There's no boot.
Oh, if he can, if the Nature's Prophet can pick this up.
He sees it with the Sprout. Courier, get yourself back into safety and away. Illidan's running over as well. He has to basically hug the rock wall to get back to safety. Cheshire Cat's there with a Sprout. He's gonna look for it, and he sees it.
Oh, he's got it.
Down. It's on the ground, Cheshire. There's a second Rapier for you, bro. More damage, and that is probably going to be the game right there. Nature's Prophet with double Rapiers. Aloha has to use the Monkey King class. Funnick will charge forth. There's still no buyback from anyone else from Empire. Funnick's down for the count. And if Empire actually lost this game, GG is the call. The gold advantage has swung like a yo-yo, and they have basically lost this game. And they will go 1-1 against Power Rangers. keeping hope for the other teams to claim the #1 position here in the Dota Pit group stage.
What an absolutely nutty game. I mean, I thought for a second, I was like, okay, Empire's got it. There's no buyback on the side of PR. They're going for the push. This is the smart thing to do. They've got Divine Rapier, Ember, plus Aegis. They've got this. But time and time again, J4, absolutely clutch ultimates. That mid fight, if the Death Prophet is able to survive